my guy Amir.
Yeah.
Amir driver.
Yeah.
Neighborhood hero.
Man,
made in Norfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, appreciate you sitting down with me again.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you always pulling up for the conversation, Drew.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, working on being a true storyteller.
Hey, listen, at this stage, you have captured the journey, I think, at 3 different phases of it. I think this is like our 3rd sit down now, I think. So, yeah, you definitely...
With a couple of different events and all that mixed in,
Yeah, you know what I mean? But just like with you and I, you know what I mean? I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd time.
Right.
I think it's fire.
Yeah, so, appreciate you always being there for it. And, I mean, speaking of stages, I'm at the stage where I'm trying to get more consistent with the people who have been consistent and the people that, were at my early stages and, just seeing the growth. People know you, you're well known, but we're going to start out with the new viewers and people that's checking this out for the first time, the tourists.
Right.
Summer's here, so, who are you and where you from?
My name is Amir Driver. I am Amir Driver, a driver. I am a rapper from the area, artist and entrepreneur, business owner, brand owner. I own a clothing brand. It's called Made in Norfolk Apparel. And now we have 2 locations. Where we are right now, 3611 Tidewater Drive, neighborhood store, and our downtown location, 208 East Main Street, Selden Market. So that's me, man.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, so, we can go a little bit back into the backstory, but, a lot of that is in the first, like you say, couple interviews. So, with where we stand now, it's just like, how has that journey been, with you, I guess, transitioning from the music and not away from it,
right,
but, to entrepreneurship and the, clothing brand and making it, a lifestyle brand?
Man, it has been a gradual transition. I tell everybody it may seem as though it was quick, but this is 12 years in the making to this point. It wasn't as hard to transition, and well, not even transition, but to add retail clothing to my branding because I was already doing certain things with the music. It is parallels to music and retail fashion. Running the store is a little different, but I had retail experience because I used to manage other retail stores in the area prior to having my own space. So it's been a gradual shift, you know what I mean? It hasn't been an overnight success thing, but it has been a journey that I would not trade for anything because every year of consistency provides different result, and each result is a bigger feat that I didn't even imagine. So yeah, it's dope. It's been dope.
Yeah, wow. So, seeing you, from the, I ain't gonna say beginning stages, but when we actually met them early stages at the store, Poplar Hall, and just kind of this, pre-expansion, I'm gonna say. It's an expansion, but I know you got many more things to do. I gotta salute you early in this interview for, the growth, like I said, consistency. And then you got, how you monitor the brand in terms of like the Juneteenth in Norfolk. Definitely, appreciate the creativity behind that. So with it being Juneteenth, like what is, I guess, the purpose in terms of like, because you're big on like economics and all of that, like that you see is the importance of talking about that rhetoric in terms of the community?
Being aware of just socioeconomics, just what's going on in the community that you're in is very important because I tell people you may not be able to directly affect and influence things on a national scale, but where you are and where you walk around on a regular basis, you can directly affect and see change in it if you know what's going on. So for me, it's really important just to be knowledgeable and to try to spread the knowledge that I have in the best way that I can to the people that are paying attention, or just seeking it on their own right and don't know where to go, So for me, it's super important, super important, just because, like I said, this is the lane that I know I can directly affect. I know my influence and input and what I share here can directly cause and provide change. So just being aware of what's going on where you are is really important. So that's why it's so big for me.
Gotcha. And where did that start? Was it like in your music days or, you've always been connected with the community. So, just kind of that perspective shift for you.
Honestly, man, I will say that also was a gradual thing. I attribute that to a lot of the things that I did prior to being in this space, because I look at it like a lot of the things that we do through life shape who we are and who we're going. So I've been a teacher, you know what I mean? I worked in the banking industry before, and not like a teller. I worked in the banking industry as like a personal banker, so I was the person sitting down, opening up accounts for people, helping them apply for credit card loans, home loans, and things of that nature, and looking at how the economic structure is here in the area that we're in, and how we are not aware of certain things, in regards to economics and how they work and how they function. And just being like, damn, this shit fucked up. You get what I'm saying? Because my niggas don't know.
Yeah.
And they'll come in here and apply for some shit or do some left field shit and have themselves fucked up. You already in a minute. And for a minute, you already in a hole, and you're trying to, and you moving from a space of survival or trying to do whatever you can to sustain yourself, and you put yourself in a deeper hole just trying to stay afloat. And, just seeing these things, I was like, yo, there's got to be a way to provide information to people that look like me, you know what I mean, and my demo community and things of that sort. So once I started to really do the clothing aspect and the entrepreneurial aspect of business on a local level, because music, I was selling music locally, but my goal for that was to expand on a larger level and still larger scale, and that's still the goal. But with this, it was all right. We gotta focus on the home base for real and how things are in this space and this climate that we're in. And you really start to see trends, and have to pay attention, honestly, to what's going on from an economic space when you're in business. Because if the money not flowing, you gotta know why. Where is the money flowing? How is the money flowing? How can I get to the money that is flowing? You know what I mean? While still trying to sustain and maintain my own business. So that's really what it was, man. Just trying to figure out ways to sustain what I created without having to exert or extend myself doing things that I didn't want to do. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. Just paying attention.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And speaking of overexerting yourself, do you feel like this has been a pretty smooth transition? Because with the whole military corridor being revamped and what's been going on with that between the city and what they're trying to do over there.
Right.
And then now having 2 new locations. Right. How is that process for you? And now that it's kind of at the tail end of them officially being opened up, do you feel a little bit of relief?
I am relieved that the area, the community, the town has shown the love that they have shown consistently for the last 5 years of me trying to make this work through all the changes that we've had to endure. You know what I'm saying? Niggas still been fucking with us wherever we went. You know what I mean? If we go, we were at military for the 2 years, 3 years that we were there, doing that transition through COVID and military closing down, and we had to relocate to Poplar Halls. The traction and traffic still moved with us and it grew. You know what I mean? Even in this transition, it wasn't as dire as the military situation, but we were urgently trying to move, because even though Poplar Halls was great for retail, it didn't provide exactly what we were looking for. So it has been kind of hectic, because like I said, just paying attention to socioeconomics, rent high shit. You know what I mean? Everywhere. Like if you trying to get a crib, you trying to get any type of property, rent is high. And right now, it's a situation where property owners and things of that sort gotta do what they want to do.
Yeah.
For a space to charge. And so
people gotta lay their head somewhere.
Right, gotta lay their head somewhere. They know people that are having to find some place. So the journey to find these locations was definitely an uphill battle. But once we finally got our foot in the door, things have been moving smoothly. I will say I am thankful that we are here. Both doors are open. Downtown opens officially this Saturday, June 21st. But we had our soft opening down there, so that store is ready to go also. I'm happy, I'm grateful, I'm thankful that we were able to do that, but we just are now moving on to the new setup. Set of things to take care of.
Right, it's
like we're here now, all right, boom. We did this.
Yep.
We don't get a chance to celebrate too crazy because now there's
no downtime.
There's no downtime because all right, we're here, we in it. The doors are open. People are ready to come in here and shop now. We have other things that have to be fulfilled since the space is open. You don't get a chance to sit down and really celebrate the win too long People always ask me, do you sit down and notice the things that you're doing and the influence and the impact? No, I don't. I do and I don't. Because I'm in it. You know what I mean? I'm the one that has to maintain it to make sure. Right.
Yeah, the wild argument machine.
Right, I gotta keep it moving.
Put gas in the car, check your oil.
There you go. Because in the same respect that you show me this love and appreciation and this gratitude, if I let this shit crash, it turns around. Damn, you was doing da 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 da. How did you da 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 da? You know, so that same admiration turns into what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think about what the word is, but it turns into that. You know,
questioning a lot of, like, not that you were doing it exactly for those people, but people will believe in you.
Right.
And it's like, not that you let them down, but it's like, damn, like, what happened?
Right.
We people, you know, see.
Right. They see the
vision. Yeah.
Right. They see the vision. They see how it grows and where it's going to, and then they themselves subconsciously may live through that, or subconsciously find inspiration in that to do other things that they want to do. So it's a lot that comes with keeping the ship afloat now at this stage, and I'm aware of it. So I don't get a chance to sit down and be like, oh man, that was great. It was like, all right, we did that shit, what's next? So now that we're open, you know, back to the question directly, now that we're open, I'm very glad that we're open, but it's just, you know, next other things to take care of.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, how do you keep your mind busy, you know, just coming up with these concepts, and, you know, what type of help do you have in terms of, like, all right, the direction, like you say, you got to move with the times, but you can't have your eyes on everything at once. So
I'm really thankful, man, because I have been able to put together at this stage. I ain't even say I put it together. I'm gonna get this to God, man, because everything in this stage definitely is ordained to happen. Because this is a God-given talent and gift that I have to just be myself. Because I tell people I get to wake up and be me every day. And in the midst of that, I've been able to come across people that are living their genuine selves also, and want to genuinely help contribute to the growth of what I've been able to start on my own. So I pay attention to a lot of what's going on. I am in the fashion and clothing myself, you know what I mean? So I'm always aware of what's kind of cool, but I listen to the people around me, you know what I mean? I take advice, from my team, I take advice from my nephews, my nieces. Uncle Amir, this is not fly. This is what we doing. All right, cool, nephew.
And that's the next generation.
Right, you 20 years old, you 18 years old. Fuck it, I'm with it. You know what I mean? I try. It's for the branding. It's for me, but it is also for the consumer. And if I am not listening to what a consumer or what the area is doing, paying attention to them, I'm not doing my job as an owner, and I'm doing a disservice to myself and my brand. So I always just try to pay attention, just to what's going on. From a lot of the design space, a lot of our designs are derived from things in the area, things in the town, you know. So I just try to always pay attention to what we hold dear, you know, what is aesthetically familiar to us. Like if somebody from here sees it, they'll be like, I know exactly what that is. You know,
where it's at.
Right, I know where it's at. I've been there, like, you know what I mean? So I look for things like that. Sometimes obscure things that you might be from a certain era to know and be familiar with, you know what I mean? So that's where a lot of the creativity comes from for me. But I definitely I'm thankful for my guys, you know, I'm thankful for my team and people around me, man.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and like you say, you know, it's just when it comes down to like that team sense of community, and you being, you know, pretty much the leader of that, I mean, comes a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
So you say you've been in, you know, teaching and banking, so you've always kind of been in a certain level of guiding people.
Right.
So, you know, what does like guidance mean to you when it comes down to this new stage, and, you know, you seeing the growth within the store, but translating that to the city?
It's very important to me, man, because like I said, sometimes, you know, I subconsciously am the vessel for people to get their own inspiration out, like, you know what I mean? So for me, man, it's really important to just stay on top of everything. You know what I mean? Stay on top of the things that I got lost in what I was saying. My fault. I got lost in
that happened.
I got lost in it. My fault. Damn.
Keep it authentic.
Yeah, my fault. Ask the question for me one time, bro.
It was like the guidance, pretty much, like the importance.
Oh, so guidance is really important. Guidance is really important because when people are paying attention, you want to make sure that you are trying to lead them in the right respect. I know, like I was saying, that I am kind of at this stage a space of inspiration for people. That are trying to do things in their own respect, and they look at me like, well, drive it, I can do it too. So I always just really try to be aware of the images that we're putting out, the messages that I'm putting out, and things that I mentioned, because I know people are following me. I know people are paying attention. I know people are trying to not emulate, but use things that they've seen from me and use it in their own respect to grow what they're doing. So I know it's important, and I'm trying to stay mindful of it all the time.
Yeah, and especially being a father,
right.
So I'm gonna kind of second that guidance with, or replace guidance with fatherhood.
Right.
How important is that to you? Because they just naturally gonna.
Man.
This is what I should follow.
Yes. So
balancing both of those.
Listen, dog, it is one of those things, man, where those eyes watch even more closely than any other eyes I've ever seen. And it's so crazy to me because my oldest is 8, my daughter's 8, my son is 7, my youngest son is 3, and they can tell me too much about what daddy got going on. And I'm like, yo,
stuff that you don't even know.
I'm like, yo, how are y'all so invested in this? Like, I go get my youngest son from daycare, and he'll get a call, baby, I'm gonna chase him. Baby, I'm like, yo, bro, you gotta relax. Like, you gotta relax. Gangster, what are we doing?
Not yet.
Not now. So, because of them, I always really try to keep in mind how I move around, because I know that, like I said, those eyes are paying me closest of attention to everything. Like my middle son, my oldest son, he does not live here. He lives with his mom and his stepfather in Texas, but he's still super tapped in. And because I know that he is invested in the things that I'm doing and are telling people there about his dad and walking around Texas with his made in Norfolk stuff on, I gotta make sure that I always give my dog something to be proud of. And he's conveying to these people who his father is, he's showing these people. So that is something that I always really, really, really like hold dear and keep in the forefront of my mind. Because one of the things that I always told myself, man, is because I've been rapping for a long time. People are really familiar with the clothing now. The clothing is taking precedent because of how it's been received. But the music aspect of what I do has been
always been there.
Yeah, it's been received in the same respect prior to the clothing. I think a lot of that translates. The parallels is why the clothing was received in the respect that it was. It does cater to the area, but I was held in a high regard as a rapper also. So I always used to say, I can't be the rapper that has kids and my kids be like, my daddy rap, like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you said my daddy used to rap or whatever. No, that couldn't be me. So I was like, if I'm gonna actively do this, I gotta really do it and make sure that when my kids see it, they're proud to say this is my pops. So, like I said, that's always in the forefront of my head. The things that I do is always with the intent and notion that they're gonna see and they need to be proud of it.
Yeah, so your kids ain't the only ones watching.
Yeah,
I've been waiting to bring this up. I wanted to ease into it. So the leadership, the community, from all facets, people, in power as well. So, let's talk about this being a part of the Plan 2050 in Norfolk.
So listen, the fire part about this, y'all watching, is Drew is the one that told me this prior to starting this interview. I didn't even know. So that is a testament to people watching and you not being aware. You not being aware.
In real time.
In real time, gang. So dog, man, when you told me no bullshit, gangsta, I almost shed a tear in here, bro. I had to gather myself real fast because certain things are overwhelming because I did not anticipate a lot of these things. You do things from a genuine space and you just do them because it's what you're truly interested in, you know what I mean? And it grows to certain levels you just don't expect it, you know what I mean? This is one of those things where I am very gracious, bro. No bullshit, man, and honored by the fact that I have been able to do so much or do enough in this space and area that we're in that the powers that be on a local government level and acknowledged it to the point of saying that this is an entity that we got to incorporate in our planning for the next 25 years. Because it's 2025 right now.
That's crazy.
It's planned 2050. My kids, bro, my youngest child will be 28 years old for 25 years.
That's right.
29 because his birthday is September. So, you feel me? Like,
you got to think about how much times have changed since 2000.
Since 2000, you know what I'm saying? And to think that I have created a strong enough legacy play for my kids to be, because I don't even consider it to the space of, damn, the city considering me being around. I'm considering it like, damn, they're considering this brand and business to be strong enough and established enough of a area entity that it'll be here and somebody gonna be here to sustain it, even if it's us. Like, you know what I mean? So they're preparing for my kids to be in a space, because, you know, if you thinking 25 years down the road and you thinking this brand of business can be here, you can't be thinking you're gonna be dealing with me. And if you are dealing with me, you know what I mean? And if you are dealing with me, you gotta be thinking I'm gonna be passing the ball for somebody else to take the shot.
It's gonna be through somebody else.
You ready to go through somebody to get, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it is a blessing, dog. It is crazy humbling. It is something that a nigga did not even consider being fathomable starting this shit out. You feel me?
Yeah.
It ain't even. I tell people all the time, bro, this for me was rapper merchandise. You know, when I was going out doing shows and shit like that, I started to understand that, you know, branding and tangible product helped bring in revenue stream as an artist. And it has grown since then to area staple, factored into a 25-year plan that the city has for Norfolk, Virginia. Like, madness, though. Madness, though.
Yeah.
I gotta text my mother when we get off this shit.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely got to blast that out. I mean, well,
I'm gonna have a conversation with my people in the EV department. You know what I mean? And see.
What's the yeah.
Why y'all niggas ain't tell me what was up, man? Why y'all ain't hit me and be like, yo, this what's going on, gangster? You know what I mean? Just see where we go from here with that. But yeah, dog, I'm definitely gonna hear it. And just let it be known. We doing something.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, that just goes to show that, like, you, first thing you mentioned, you was like, you know, give it to God pretty much.
Man, listen, that's it, bro. That's it, man. I tell people, like, faith without works is dead. It's like one of my favorite Bible scriptures, right? Because it is a testament to, you have to believe, but you can't have belief without being consistent in the work that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, they ask me, man, how did you get this? And how did you get that? And how did you get that? I say, my nigga, I just kept my feet moving. And as long as you keep and continuously push forward on the path that you're trying to pursue, and the path that you're on, you'll start to see certain things shift and changing that. And that is a testament to your work, but more than anything, it's a testament to God blessing you for staying diligent and consistent on what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's like with anything, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are consistent to, and the success doesn't always render itself in the form of monetary or storefront or accolade or attention and shit like that. It might be something else. But if you stay consistent in what it is, you will see. You feel what I'm saying? No bullshit. You will see direct blessing from it, though. So I completely attribute it to God, man. It's just me staying consistent in this shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, don't feel bad for being prideful in the things that you've done, and acknowledging that the things that have been accomplished from the work that you've done, because you had to do the shit. You know what I mean? There are other people in place that help you sustain and maintain and help it grow. Always acknowledge your game. Always, because the shit ain't gonna be where it's gonna be without the help of other people. But if you did the shit, don't front on yourself and act like you didn't do it. You did it. You feel me? You did it. You and the guidance and the strength of God got through the shit to get to a space of you having something worthy of other people having investment in it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hold God at the highest regard. Hold yourself and your accomplishment under that, and then from there, you know what I mean? Watch how the blessings fall out and trickle. You know what I mean? Just don't be selfish in that shit, because you know, just as fast as it comes, it'll go. You know, so that'd be the thing, man. Work diligently, stay faithful, and be forever diligent in your willingness to give. You know what I mean? Like always be willing to give. So
yeah, definitely. Speaking of, you mentioned the giving, when it comes down to like you've been doing like workshops and you know you do the mating conversation. You know, just when it comes down to that aspect, you know, how do you you know, feel? I probably know the answer to this question, but like when it comes down to like being able to give back and be able to like set the next generation up for, hey, look, this is somewhat of my blueprint. Take what you want, and then screen print and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be the best shit, man, for me, because I don't remember seeing people like myself, you know, come around the school and come kick it with niggas like career day, where it's all based around people who had professions that required you to go to school for 4 or 5 years. It's fire for me, man, because I don't remember people such as myself coming to the school, coming to our summer camps and things like that, having conversations about their profession, and not being a profession that required me to go to school for 4 to 5 years. And not to say there's anything wrong with that, because I tell people all the time, I encourage the youngest to go to school and have a passion or something that they want to do that seems unconventional, but still utilize the presence of school and what it offers in their lives, you know what I'm saying? But it's everything for me, man, because like I said, I just don't remember seeing that when I was younger and having somebody present that was physically accessible to me. Like, yo, you come, I can see somebody on TV saying that they open a business, they're a rapper, they open a business, they doing X, Y, Z in their community, but they might be in New York, New Jersey, Chicago, one of the major cities. To see and have it here is so much different. So for me, it means everything, just from a space of thought, for what it provides for the next generation. Like, yo, you can really do anything that you set your mind to, nephew, or at least if you approach it from a genuine space and you go into things wholeheartedly, you know what I'm saying? You can be successful in things that people may seem to be untraditional in an area that might not seem to cater to it, because, you know, Virginia, this space is like 40 something on the entertainment list, you know what I mean, in the nation. And at the root of what I do, even though it's entrepreneurship, I'm an entertainer. I found a way to pivot and transition what I do as a rap artist to business and branding, and make it something that's tangible for people to see, have, and walk around with and be proud of. So for me, giving back is super important, just because, like I said, it provides that opportunity of thought and visual and physical proof that you can do something if you stay true to it. So for me, it's everything. That's why I'm so big on giving back to the youngins and shit, and putting up on the homies, the little homies, and letting them see, bro, you can do this shit. If you want to rap, man, go rap, man.
Yeah.
Just figure out a way to make it tangible for you. Make it financial.
Make it make sense.
Make sense for you.
Both ways, yeah.
Make it make sense for you, bro. Don't let anybody tell you can't do that. If you want to make a t-shirt, if you got this presidential jewelry, you want to be able to put it on a t-shirt and sell it to people, bro, do that shit, nephew. That's what I do. You just got to stay at it. You know, it's going to be days where it looks like, nobody buying this shirt. It might be the day. But tomorrow, 50 niggas might buy a shirt.
Right. That shit just keep running up. Yeah.
That's how it goes, you know? So that's what I'm here for. And that's why, giving back is so very dire and so important.
Yeah. And a lot of people get discouraged at that moment of, damn, I had this big plan. I wrote all this stuff down. It ain't happened. But when you true, like you say, I'm going to use that word that you used earlier, genuine, to what you're doing. It's like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Right. You know, this is like you say, it's ordained. This is God-given. Right. It's going to happen regardless. Regardless of the results, but the results will come. Right. You know, so, you know, well, I do want to say, you know, again, I mean, this is like major. It's just been a blessing to see this type of growth.
I appreciate you, bro.
You know, and happy Juneteenth. I think that's the appropriate way to celebrate it. You know, that plan 20, God, dog.
20,
yeah.
That shit is mad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when you get out there and come like, yo, did you know? Because I didn't know. But guess what? Like,
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you for providing that information for me, man. I definitely thought you were moving around. You know what I mean? And listen, And you know it's a bomb because my dog Ant didn't even know. And Ant be on everything.
Shout out to Ant.
Shout out to Ant. You feel me? Like I say, always shout out to the team. Shout out to Ant. Shout out to G. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Dub. Shout out to Kiera. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Brick. Shout out to T. Shout out to motherfucking Executive Point. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to everybody. You feel me? It's a whole unit of niggas. Shout out to Drew because Drew pull up all the time too. You feel me? It's a whole unit around this situation here that makes it move in the respect that it does, man. Without these parts and individuals, I don't know how far we would have gotten to this point. You know what I mean? Everybody that is here and that I named, shout out to Mark B also, because Mark B my dog is holding it down, man. But yeah, like everybody that I named, everybody that's here, everybody has been a part of the journey at different stages of it. And every time that they have shown up, it's like, how do you not, bro? God sent them niggas at that time.
For sure.
You feel me? Like, nobody that I named came into the fold at a time that was without purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no bullshit, bro. Every name that I named fell into the fold at a time where they were here with purpose. And it wasn't even like a purpose. The purpose that they were present, it was beneficial for the branding, but it was also beneficial for them as well. Like, you know what I mean? We all found each other.
Mm-hmm.
God was like, here y'all niggas go, y'all niggas. You missing this.
These are the ingredients.
Right, you missing this. He got this. All right, bro, look, bro, you missing this. And this is right here. So what I'm gonna do is set up a way for y'all niggas to meet, and then y'all keep cooking this pot up. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it's been, bro. So I'm very thankful for the game, for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. So before I let you go, I do want to get back into the music. I ask you one more question. So are you still, working on that? I know this probably took up a lot of time with the Made in Norfolk, but any projects or anything you working on?
Yeah, man, I actually am still working on some projects right now. I'm reconfiguring this infrastructure in the business and brand since we have 2 locations. And once we get through the month of June, it's a trial time. We outside with it, you feel me? So I got a couple records that we're gonna release that we've been sitting on. We just getting all the visuals done and together. So it's gonna be a real strong rollout. Like I said, the team is here getting it together for me. They're helping make sure that nothing falls short. So while this is seen at the forefront right now, just know in the back in the kitchen that pot is still getting whipped up real crazy because I still love the craft. You know what I mean? I still feel like I'm very highly capable of the craft. So we're gonna put it together and present it in the best way possible.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the Juneteenth series. This ain't gonna be the last time we sit down.
No, I know.
And this happens in real time. So now I'm thinking about like, dang, we got to make this a thing. And I've already been thinking of some new ideas to keep the content fresh. So I do appreciate the hospitality and open up the doors, and always being there for me. So, we're gonna do a follow-up and y'all tap in. We got Amir driver, Made in Norfolk, and we out.